How are you approaching the social impact in your portfolio? And I'd like to ask that to Andrew.
Very pertinent questions. I spent the whole of this morning with our team thinking, why aren't we doing a better job at that? And how do we create a proper database, a start point? Because I think people need to understand what's going on and what social impact you're having, but they want data. They want to understand this is what is happening in your portfolio today, and consistent data you can report on over time to show the trends, and positive, hopefully positive. There will sometimes be some negative trends. So we're trying to work out how to commission some third parties to help us create that start point. And then something someone said to me else this morning, we've got to be very careful here, but all of us on this Q&A own real assets. Some really important social things cannot happen without those assets, but we can't claim the credit for what our tenants, operators, counterparties are doing. We need to recognize where we begin and end. But I think it's got to start with data.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Yes, data is very important. Really, we want proof and evidence of social impact. Giles, how are you approaching social impact in your portfolio?
Yeah, I think it is nuanced, because it's very easy just to say that we invest in public infrastructure and therefore all our assets contribute to public well-being. And as a trite statement, that's 100% true. They all do contribute to public well-being. But is that enough today to really say that? If you're in a business where you own real assets, you're delivering returns to your investors, particularly when our wider stakeholders are the public, I think it does behove us to engage and demonstrate social impact and positive outcomes. And I think as an industry, we're some way down the track, and I think perhaps we're further down the track than maybe some other real asset sectors. But I don't think we're by any means at a destination yet. Our focus has also been to try and track data, because I think that we feel that whilst our investors focus on financial outcomes and dividend growth and capital growth, our wider stakeholders are much more interested in understanding other metrics, and those may be how we contribute to CO2 reduction. They might be how we contribute to social inclusion, and so we publish a annual sustainability report which covers some but not all of the issues you're talking about. So I think we're on a journey, but I wouldn't pretend that we're close to the finishing point yet.
Thank you very much, Giles, and thank you for being quite so frank about that. And now to you, Ed, how are you approaching social impact at HICL?
Well, I think it's important to recognise that with infrastructure assets in particular, they sit really on the cusp of public and private. There's an inherent interaction with the stakeholder groups that is very real and day to day, and therefore I philosophically we do really believe that the long-term outcomes for shareholders are very closely intertwined with the outcomes for the stakeholders in the community. And the moment you lose the realization of that connection, you're going to run into problems. HICL has quite a large portfolio of assets, predominantly social assets in the community. We touch over around 20 million, interact with 20 million people globally, 1 in 4 in the UK. And so we do think that we have this particular vantage point to address the S in ESG, and that's really how we think about our approach. Now, I completely agree with Andrew and Giles' comments that the inherent positioning as a social product is good and great, but it's not where the game's going to be played. People expect more than just the fact that you are associated with essential assets when they're evaluating your ESG credentials and performance. So we're also very focused on the active part of that. So what can we do through the assets, and how can we take advantage of that positioning within the communities to deliver something over and above, and in that way make sure that our assets are enjoyed by the community, our clients are happy with the service that they're getting, and I think that's a key component for also where the shareholders are ultimately going to have the returns and income that they expect from the assets over a very long period of time, which is what HICL seeks to do. So it is quite nuanced in getting that balance right.
have to say, we at the AIC are also very concerned about ESG. We introduced ESG disclosures on our website, which our member companies contribute to, but we're also thinking about how we can improve those disclosures and improve our work on ESG for investment companies.